This is an intro on how to download and get started with Spirent TestCenter Virtual. So you're going to begin with support.spirent.com in your browser. So just go ahead and go to that website. This is what you're going to see when you first get here. If you have an account, go ahead and log in your username, your password here. If not, just come over here to sign up and go through, put in all the information, click to the terms, and then sign up from that point. Once you're logged in, then we're going to navigate on this left-hand screen. So I'm going to go ahead and log in at this point in time. And my password has changed, so I need to update it. So all right, and let's do remember me. Update password. All right, we're cooking with gas. So once you're logged in, you're going to have more icons here to the left. If you don't see it, then you're probably not logged in. All of our downloads are going to be on this third icon, downloads. You're going to come up with a EULA as far as don't export this outside of the US. In my case, I already accepted, so that's why it didn't pop up this time around. The way that this is organized, we're going to start top left, work our way down, and then, if applicable, we'll come over here to choose our specific version, and that'll make more sense here in just a moment. So anything that is a current release will be here under general release. If it's anything -1 or older, meaning if we're on 5.35, 5.34 and older will be under archived. Controlled is for some of our cybersecurity products, which are export controlled by the US government. So we're going to leave this for general release, and we'll revisit this to show how to download an older version. For this product line, we're going to select product line and then go down to Spirent TestCenter. Once we're here, this should update a few seconds later, and we're going to select virtual, because again, this is to go over STC virtual download. From here, you're going to choose the VM manager that you're running, VMware, KVM as applicable. I like to just do VMware. I don't do the specific version, but of course you always can. So now you'll notice that over here we have a release, and so we can go through and we can filter. So in this particular case, we're currently on 5.46, and they just haven't moved 5.45 over to the archive yet. And once we're at this point, we can download the OVA file. So we're looking here for Spirent TestCenter virtual machine. And in this case, since we chose VMware, it's for VMware. Underneath this, there's going to be some fields that you can click on and populate. So details just shows you the details. If you're using MD5 or checksum, should match a description, which is very basic. And then most importantly, related resources. And so from here, you're going to be able to go into the quick start guide, go through and set up the VM. For the most part, if you're using ESXi 6.7, I was able to just click next on the import. I really didn't have to change a whole lot. Now this guide, when you go back in, is going to have some features that you can go in and enable to make STC more efficient. But just to get going, you can blaze through it pretty fast. And then lastly, any product alerts as they come out. So again, come down here to virtual quick start guide. So we have two conventions for licensing. We have the traditional one, and then the newer one is Aon. So there is a different version for the start guide if you're using Aon. Now let's back up, because I mentioned that we can do an old release. So let's say you already have TestCenter on other machines that are not virtual, but you want the versions to match, because just like with STC hardware, your application needs to match your endpoint. So let's say you have a C50 and that C50 is currently on 5.30. So we'll come over here, we'll go to archived release. This will update again. So this is why we're going to start up here and work our way down, because if I had chose a version here and then came back over here to archived, it blows this out. So we're going to go back down, TestCenter again. Give it a minute, update. Now virtual. Give it a second. It'll update. and VMware. There we go. So now we can go in here, and it's in reverse numerical order. So the highest will be at the bottom. So in our example, it said 5.3. So we can go here to 5.3. And so we're not doing lab server. We want Spirent TestCenter VM VMware. So you're going to download this file. I like Google Chrome because it's easier to manage downloads. You know where it goes or where it went. And then you're going to use your VMware manager to import that OVA and then get going. In terms of license, if it's a demo, once you've installed it, it's going to give you a unique ID. Get that unique ID, copy paste it, send it to me in an email, and I can get a demo license so that you can get going. If this is for purchased software, same thing. Just get that key, send it to me, and we can bind that to your entitlement. So if you have Spirent TestCenter license, and this is a new installation. It's going to be a new file, obviously. But let's say you blew out your VM because you moved from one environment or one enclave to another. Because the license file is bound to the network NIC or the network interface device, the key changes if you spin it up in a new VM and then import the OVA. You can't just take the license files and slide them over. So you'll again have to get that unique ID, send it to me. We'll bind that to your entitlements, which is what your licenses are purchasing. And then I can get you back, usually within 1 business day, a new software license. So any questions, don't hesitate to call or email me, john.schubert, that's SCHUBERT at Spirent, SPIRENT.com. Thanks.